8 days, 5 countries, 1 mission. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has started his longest foreign trip in a decade. You don't see such marathon visits anymore. Leaders do short stops nowadays. But this trip is very different. It is about reaching new frontiers, rekindling old partnerships and creating a strong coalition. First, let's look at the travel plan. Prime Minister Modi took off from New Delhi this morning. He arrived in Ghana a short while back. This is the first such trip from India in 3 decades. The first prime ministerial visit from India to Ghana in 3 decades. From Ghana, Prime Minister Modi will fly to the Caribbean, to Trinidad and Tobago. And it will be the first such trip since 1999. From the Caribbean, the Indian Prime Minister will fly south to Argentina. It will be the first such trip in 57 years. After that, Prime Minister Modi will hop over to Brazil. First, he will attend the BRICS summit, then he will take part in a state dinner, and on his way back, he will make his final stop in Namibia in southern Africa. The first such trip since 1998. Now, if you look at this itinerary, two trends stand out. Number one, a lot of these trips are coming after massive gaps, 30 years, 57 years, 26 years. Such huge gaps can derail diplomatic progress. It gives the impression that you're not as invested. And trend number two, it's clearly an attempt to woo the global south. In fact, Prime Minister Modi himself admitted to this. Let me quote from his departure statement. I am confident that my visits to the 5 countries will reinforce our bonds of friendship across the global south, strengthen our partnerships in both sides of the Atlantic, and deepen engagements in the multilateral platforms. Each stop has a significance. Ghana is a fast-growing economy. Their top export market is India. The Caribbean is home to a large Indian origin community, and Trinidad and Tobago hosts nearly half of them. Then you have Argentina, a major economy in Latin America, also home to large reserves of critical minerals like lithium and graphite. Brazil is obviously a BRICS member. It is also the largest economy in Latin America. And finally, you have Namibia. They gave us cheetahs back in 2022. They're also emerging as a key trading partner. Trade has gone from 3 million to 600 million in 2 decades. So none of these stops are random. There is a thought behind each of them. The question is, what is the larger strategy? Like the Prime Minister said, it's about the global south. This refers to developing and underdeveloped nations. Most of them are in Africa, Asia and Latin America. For a long time, these countries were seen as basket cases, but now the West wants to court them. The global south has a young, booming population. They have key resources, including rare earths, and they have strength in numbers. The United Nations has 193 member countries. The global south makes up almost 2/3 of that. So you can imagine the power. Having said that, this group is not united. It does not speak in one voice anywhere. And this is where India comes in. New Delhi wants to lead the global south countries, whether it's on debt relief or climate change initiatives or countering extremism. But you can't lead without reaching out, without visiting those countries, without speaking to their people. Until recently, India was not doing that. But guess who was? China. Beijing has made inroads into Latin America and Africa. Latin America is seen as America's backyard, but China is plowing ahead. By 2035, they could become the region's top trading partner. The Chinese could be the top trading partner of Latin America by 2035. Basically, China could overtake the US. This was unthinkable until a few years ago. In Africa, China is already number 1. They are ahead of the US, Europe and India on trade, but thankfully there is an opening. A lot of global south countries are unhappy with China's loans. It has plunged them into a debt trap. And this gives India the opportunity to capitalize. We cannot match Beijing's checkbook, but we can offer alternatives. Because India has something that China does not. We have great ties with Western institutions. And what do we get in return? A strong political coalition Whether it's to call out Pakistani terrorism or to reform global agencies like the United Nations or to sideline China. Many of these global South countries are swing states. Yes, ideology matters to them, but they do not belong to any political camp. They belong to the side of peace and prosperity. And India shares the same worldview. The key is to convince the global South.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karj mo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Skali radikali.
Japanese,
4 兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.